Hey guys, this is That Crazy Editor, and today I would like to talk to you about life's most important facts.
Bacon.
No, but seriously, bacon is life. I wanted to talk today about the future effects that virtual reality can have. And you're like, ooh, yeah, virtual reality, I know what that is. Well, most of you do, but some of you are still stuck in the Stone Age. Virtual reality is the science of trying to get someone into the virtual world where it feels realistic. So, like putting a headset on so you can see 360 degrees and see everything around you and move like you normally would. Basically, to make everything in the virtual world as real as possible. But that can have adverse effects. You see, whenever they first started VR, it was mostly, adding it to games so you can move your head around and look around and stuff. And now they're getting like hand input control so you can move your hand the right way and do all this other stuff. But what if
The government.
What are you saying? Oh, well, let's see. If the government gets their hands on a good VR system, and they plug you right into it. I'm saying they give you the headset and they knock you out where you can't feel anything, so you're looking through the headset like everything's real. Well, we already have movies that can record in like 4K, 1080p, 7,000 frames per second.
Exaggeration.
But what if they put you into that, and then whenever they showed you whatever they wanted, they could be like, oh, you know what? We're going to influence this person's vote by putting a headset on them and showing him that this candidate has the best policies while the other candidate really sucks. I mean, that's not really what I would expect the government to use it for, but I'm just spitballing here. That's one of the dangers of VR, is that it might become too real that people actually think it's the real deal. And some people might even abuse VR system because they don't want to go out into the real world because the real world's so hard and they can't control it. But with the VR world, they can control every aspect of it. Another issue is that VR right now is only limited to the senses, such as sight, hearing, touch. We're not yet to the smell and taste of things, but we could be getting close. And that's scary because then all of your senses would be able to interact with that. But another scary thought is if they connected it to our minds. Kind of like Sword Art Online. Cough, cough. What are you talking about, crazy? What you talking about? They can't connect it to our minds. That's crazy talk. Well, yeah, it's crazy talk. But in a science development program somewhere in either the US or in Germany, not sure which, haven't read up on that in a while, they have a facility that is testing on how to read brainwaves. Read brainwaves? Yes, read brainwaves. Like, they can take your thoughts and put them into words on a screen. They're this close. I'm serious. So if they're that close to reading your thoughts, basically, then how close more would they be to being able to either input images and feelings into your mind? So say the government got a hold of the mind reading aspect and the mind input aspect of virtual reality, and they plug you into it, they sit you there, and then they have this whole file of stuff that they just upload to your brain that, gives away your freedom or makes you like a certain thing about the government more, or says, hey, raising taxes would be a great idea. Or they could even take thoughts from your mind that are your private thoughts and use them for their benefit. Now, a lot of you might be thinking, oh, that's just crazy talk. You sounded like those people that say aliens are going to abduct us all. Well, I'm not being crazy. I'm being for serious right now. Because, as you can see with all the propaganda and stuff, the government has been, doing a lot of stuff to influence how we live our lives. For some aspects of our life, that's completely okay. What do you mean it's okay? You're going and saying that it's all bad. Well, I'm saying it's okay because, if the government wants to influence the health department saying, hey, we realize that, you know, we could use crystal meth in candy, but that's a health hazard, so we're not going to do that, and you should, let the people know. Or even advertising good things about the military. The military is not bad. Every country has it, and if you disrespect the military, then you're disrespecting a lot of lives that have been lost, not only in past generations, but in future generations that will go on to live out their lives in the army or other military factions. But stuff like that, that's good. Like, if it's for our safety and for our health, that's fine. I'm not saying that they should control our every thought, because everyone deserves their own thought and their own opinion, but they can influence by showing us their scope of things. Okay? But what is not right is taking their scope of things and inputting it straight to your brain, so you don't have a choice to say yes or no. By the time they input this to your brain, this would make your brain say, okay, this is true information, I gotta believe this. You don't have a choice in the matter, and that's scary. Also, just as a normal circumstance, all technology can be hacked. So say that we had this VR system that you could plug yourself into, and you could mentally control everything. You wouldn't have to actually move or turn your head to do anything. It can be hacked. So if you're living in a world controlled by your mind, and someone can hack that technology, they can basically hack your mind. I'm not saying that they could probably hack and see all your thoughts and do all this and do what the government could do if they had the thought process system. It's still likely, but I'm saying that they could mess with your senses and mess with your reality and make it very hard on you. But that's just my idea of what might happen in the future. I'm not saying any of this will happen, but virtual reality is a really cool thing, and I'm supporting it as of right now because it's a fun thing to do for gaming and for movies and for like live interactions like with Skype and stuff, because then you can like go everywhere with it and do stuff like that. But again, that's just my opinion. I would love to hear what your thoughts are on the whole virtual reality concept, and I would also like to hear how much
You love bacon.
Anywho, this has been Dat Crazy Editor, and I will show you another level of madness the next time I make a video. See ya! Okay. So I guess when you hit the thing, I won't do the number 2. I won't do the number 2. I won't do the. Screw it.